UW veterinarian Sandi Sawchuck is here to tackle your pet questions.
Hello, Shoeless Mark Kane.
And I have to take my shoes off because Pete here decides that they're a chew toy. Now I'm going after yours.
That's my shoes.
We're all going to be shoeless.
Come on, Pete.
Pete is how old now?
He's 5 months old, and he's just getting some new molars in, so everything is going in his mouth. And you're doing exactly what you should be doing with the puppy, is redirecting. Always have something with you, you know, because that's what they're going to want to do, is chew on everything.
270-9932. We got a big heat wave coming up.
Oh, my goodness. And for dogs like Pete, or any of the push-face dogs, or elderly dogs, any dog that has heart disease or respiratory problems, you really have to be careful, because the only way they expel heat is either sweating through their bottoms of their feet or panting. And so for a dog like this that has the push face, they just can't.
Now I'm going to take out my pants. So this show's going to take an unusual turn.
Come here, Pete. Let's slide over
here.
here.
Calls before we have to do that. Let's start with Kathy in Middleton. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, what's your question?
My cat is on an 8th tablet of Maranzapine every other day for increasing his appetite. He's having some issues. I'm wondering if that is safe to use long term.
Well, I really get worried about why a cat doesn't have a good appetite to begin with. And, you know, it is, I would rather you find the answer for the appetite problem and then consider, you know, what you can do to treat that. The medication you've got him on is relatively safe long term. I'd probably be wanting to monitor some liver enzymes just because of the nature of the drug. And being a cat, they can sometimes have issues with that particular class of drugs long term. So
it's a warning sign when a cat loses its appetite.
Oh, definitely. And just throwing appetite stimulants at them isn't going to solve the problem.
Okay. Yeah. We have another kitty question from Robin. Hi, Robin.
Hi, how's everyone?
Great. How about you?
I'm doing good. I have a question, Sandy. I have cats, obviously, and I was curious on how early or the age of a male kitten should be neutered, and if I have to worry about my male that I already have bringing another male in.
Yeah, well, typically male-male interactions, especially if they're both neutered, are wonderful. It's the female-female, they tend to not like interact as much, but most male cats, if they're introduced appropriately, slowly, letting them get used to each other, they'll usually do just fine. But when it comes to the age of neutering, typically we like to wait until they've had all of their vaccines before they're hospitalized to be neutered. But in many cases, my daughter just adopted a dog or a cat this weekend, and he was already neutered, and he's only 4 months old right now. So we're doing his final vaccines, but he's neutered. So yeah, it's kind of variable.
All right, Gary in Verona. Hi, Gary.
I have a question. I have a 6-year-old tabby cat who is overweight and severe problems with shedding and dander, mainly along his spine area.
Yeah.
And we tried brushing, fish oil, you know, the whole gambit, and it's still, we can't get a hold of it here.
Well, I tell you, the most likely reason is the fact that your cat is overweight. And I think that's what you probably need to address is the weight issue because they can't groom themselves. And so they get all those skin oils and the dead skin cells and so on just building up along the back. They're not able to remove the hair with their tongue like they normally would. So you're doing the right thing, brushing your cat. You may need to bathe your cat as well. Sometimes when they have that much flaking, they have an underlying bacterial infection or a yeast infection on top of it, just because again they're not clean, and so we have to usually take care of it for them, but address it through weight loss. And this would be something working with your veterinarian to get low calorie diet, the right number of calories, the right number of meals a day. And it takes a while, but eventually once you get that weight off, that cat should be able to be agile enough to groom themselves.
Now he's eating the furniture.
Okay.
Let's try to squeeze in one last call. Diane in Sun Prairie. Hi there. What's your question?
Hi, another kitty question.
Okay.
I have a 4.5-month-old, and she is already fixed. But I'm wondering, she's not going outside, and I'm curious if
should I still get rabies shots? It doesn't seem.
Yes, vaccine for rabies is a local ordinance, and so you'd be breaking the law for having a cat that isn't vaccinated. The big thing that rabies vaccine is going to provide you is protection of your liability. If your cat were to bite somebody, even inadvertently, or scratch them, they would have to go through quarantine that is pretty strict at a vet clinic for 10 days away from you with very limited handling. So keep up on the rabies. And I have had one case in my career where a rabid bat got into a house with an unvaccinated cat, and everybody had to go through vaccines, and the cat had to go through a 6-month quarantine for that.
And they should get all the other shots too.
Other shots too, because those are viruses that you can potentially bring in on your clothing after you've gone to visit friends with the cat. So even an indoor cat isn't sheltered from disease.
Okay, we're going to take a few more calls after the break, so if you're on the line, stay there. We'll be right back. We're here with Sandi Sawchuck taking your pet calls. Let's go to Gaylord in Janesville. Hi, Gaylord.
Yeah.
Hi, which question?
Yeah, I turned my dog out the other day, and she come back with a mouth just a full, and she got into it with a skunk.
Oh, my goodness. Well, the best thing for getting rid of skunk odor on dogs is a recipe that you're going to find online, because it can't be bottled or manufactured. And it consists of hydrogen peroxide, some type of dish soap that's a real good grease cutter, like Dawn dishwashing detergent or something like that, and baking soda. And you mix all this up. Obviously, if you put it in a container, it would explode. So, yeah, but it works extremely well. And if you just look up, skunk recipe, it's online, and it's right there with the percentages of how much you need to use. And I know how well it works, because I've been there. Yeah.
Patty's on from Madison. We don't have time to take the call, but her cat has bad breath.
The #1 reason for bad breath is bad teeth, and usually periodontal disease is the cause. So getting the mouth checked out by a veterinarian, often getting it cleaned, and then getting them going on a dental diet, or if you're brave, brushing the teeth.
If you're brave. Remember you and Lola with her breath.
Oh, yeah.
Had her teeth cleaned?
Yeah.
All gone.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Pete. I'm going to put my shoes back on. Have yourselves a good night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.